Hello everyone, TimeToGrind here, and welcome to another The TTG Show. Now today I wanted to talk a little bit about loot boxes, but not in the way that a lot of other people, myself included, have been talking about them in the past. I want to talk about today digital card games and how a lot of people are making the comparison between card packs and say like pay-to-win loot boxes. Now first of all, before I want to talk about even anything else, I want to bring up the simple argument that, like as an example, Star Wars Battlefront 2, which we're all getting mad at for having pay-to-win loot boxes, it has a $60 price tag before any of the pay-to-win loot boxes, before any of that. Whereas a game like Hearthstone or Gwent or Eternal, they are all completely free to play, and then you have the, packs that you have to buy, or not have to buy, but can buy to give you an advantage. So that's overall one drastic difference that makes a huge difference, because in, say, Hearthstone, if you spend $60 in the game, then you still kind of have a, you're getting a little bit of the content that you wouldn't be getting otherwise, whereas in Star Wars Battlefront 2, to have that $60 price tag and then have, Star Wars Battlefront 2 is a little drastic, but, have $2,000 worth of content that needs to be purchased in order to get everything, or spend, a ridiculous amount, like 4,000 hours to even grind out all of the star cards and characters and everything. So that's a pretty big difference between, why a lot of people are okay with, card packs being like that, whereas they're not in, like, Star Wars Battlefront 2, and it's just because those card games are free to start out with. Anyone can try them, anyone can just, there's a lot of people that, say, play Hearthstone, and they just grind it out. They're just free-to-play players, they just grind it out, and they don't spend a dime on the game. And the best to them, because, that's one thing you can do. You can't do that with Star Wars Battlefront 2. Anyone that wants to play is going to have to spend at least $60, and then, if you want to be competitive or whatever and get all the items, that's an additional $2,000. So, that's already one thing. But another reason why a lot of people are okay with this is just because of the fact that digital card games are just mimicking real-life collectible card games. So, games like Magic the Gathering, and in those, it is, the game technically is free because, you don't have to spend any money to really get into it. You can just borrow cards from a friend, or, you can, a lot, especially comic book stores and stuff like that, if people don't want the cards that they get, the commons and stuff, they'll just give them out to new players. So it's definitely free to get into, especially like, if you have a printer or whatever, you can just proxy some cards and play with some friends. That's actually how, me and some friends, test out new decks before we end up getting them. But, there's a lot, it's free to play, but if you want to buy packs, they're $5 each, and they have a chance of actually giving you stuff. The difference in those cases, though, is the cards have actual value. So in Magic the Gathering, some packs, they're all, $4.99 or whatever, but there's a couple cards in each set that are worth, like, $40, $50. There's a card right now that's in Standard that's worth, like, $60. It's called the Scarab God and stuff like that. And how can you find those? If you don't want to buy them for $60, you can try buying the card packs that they're in and actually, getting the cards that they are, or, getting the actual card you want. But that's very unlikely you're going to get it, but people are getting it and adding it to the market. So there's actual value you're getting in a real card game, whereas in a digital card game, you can't sell your cards at all. You can disenchant them to buy other cards, but you can't at all sell the cards, or, buy other cards for, actual money. You have to be, for sure you want to get a certain card, and, like in real life Magic, say you really want the Scarab God card, and you don't want to have to just buy packs over and over and over and over and over to try to get it. You can just straight up buy the Scarab God. Is it going to be expensive? Yes, but you have the option to do that. In games like Hearthstone, of course you can disenchant cards you don't want to then buy the real card you want, but that's the only way you're getting dust is by getting packs and opening them. So it's technically forcing you to still just buy packs over and over and over and over and over until you get enough dust to then, buy it. You can't just buy the card with real money directly the way you want to, which is definitely a problem because of the fact that it does randomize a lot of the things you're getting. So, one player opens up 10 packs, another new player opens up 10 packs. It's definitely RNG on who's going to be a lot, better in what cards they get. Of course, you can disenchant them, but in all card games, for the most part, digital ones anyways, the disenchant rate is definitely very, very poor. They want you to pretty much only be disenchanting the the duplicates you get and maybe disenchant some bad cards or cards you don't think you'll use to get cards you really want, but it's not like a 1-1 scale. If I disenchant a legendary, I'm not going to get enough dust to buy a legendary. And I have one of the strictest definitions of pay to win I think I know of. You know, I've talked about it a lot in the past in my old videos, or, you know, some recent ones. But, you know, digital card games, I am not denying the fact that they are all pay to win. The problem is it's kind of excusable because of the type of game it is and the fact that they're all free to play. But trying to excuse something like Star Wars Battlefront 2's pay to winness, that is, there's no way to explain that. There is no excuse. Even, you know, loot boxes and stuff like that just contain cosmetics, even those have been, you know, coming under fire, and I'm actually starting to not like them myself just because of how much they manipulate people that have gambling addictions and children and stuff like that. But that's a whole different story. I mean, it's still a very important story, but that's a very different story. Right now we're talking about why people are okay with pay to win in card games, whereas they're not in Star Wars Battlefront 2 and stuff like that. And, you know, obviously the main issue is because of the fact that it is a AAA $60 game and that, but there is a lot of other kind of things. The thing is say you're playing a free-to-play game, like a free-to-play FPS game, you know, a new free-to-play FPS game that came out, and it has pay-to-win, you know, mechanics in it, like, oh, you can slowly grind out these games to get coins, and then you can buy, you know, an AK-47, which is way better than all the other guns, or you can just buy an AK-47, or we have an exclusive, you know, VIP club membership where you pay $10 a month and you get access to all these overpowered guns. There's even a huge difference in that versus card games, because in that, even though that's free to play, people still despise that kind of stuff because of the fact that it's just so unfair, and the game genre it in doesn't really need pay to win mechanics. As you know, in Hearthstone, it's really easy to say, you know, oh, you know, the game doesn't need pay to win, you know, they could just give everyone the cards, you could spend $30 and get all the cards in general, but it doesn't really have the collectible card game feel if you do that. Whereas a free-to-play FPS like that, you can make it, you know, non-pay-to-win, and it's good. But if you make it pay-to-win, it feels like the game genre FPSs don't need pay-to-win mechanics to make them feel like an FPS, whereas a card game, you know, one of the whole, you know, great things about card games, especially collectible card games, is ripping open packs and, you know, oh, I got this card, you know, this card's great, I can now put it in my deck and stuff like that. And, you know, that's why a lot of people are okay with, you know, collectible card games being pay to win like that, because that is kind of what the game genre is. It's opening up, you know, that's half the fun of the game. But in FPS, even if it's free to play, an FPS doesn't need pay-to-win mechanics in order to make it feel like a good old FPS, a good old traditional FPS. Now, the one thing you can kind of talk about with, you know, digital card games and stuff like that, is the cost of entry. Is the game too expensive? Is it too pay to win? You know, a lot of discussion, especially in the Hearthstone subreddit lately about Hearthstone, is the fact that the game is getting so expensive, and, you know, that makes it a lot more pay to win, where if you want to stay competitive, you want to stay up to date, they have, you know, 2-3 expansions coming out every, you know, year, and you can buy these $50 pre-order things where it gives you 50 packs for $50, but even if you do that, that's not even giving you remotely enough of, you know, a good majority of the cards that you need to stay competitive. So you're having to spend, you know, upwards of $400 a year to stay competitive in, you know, Hearthstone. Of course, there are, you know, this isn't like, you know, full stats, you know, coming from me, but that is like around what people are talking about, you know, $400-ish, just because of the fact that there's so many sets coming out and stuff like that. And I mean, I'm gonna be fair, you know, Magic the Gathering, you know, real life, it's definitely the same way. You know, in order to stay competitive, it is going to cost some money. I'm looking at decks and stuff like that, and a deck I'm wanting to build recently for Standard, I'm going to have to put like $250 more in it, and I'm just not wanting to spend that money at all, so I'm just not doing it. But the difference with that is the cards themselves have physical monetary value. So I go look at any of my previous decks that I've built that I'm not using anymore. I have like an elf deck for Modern as an example. I can sell that entire deck for $200 just right now. But in Hearthstone, what can you do with your cards after they're not good anymore? I mean, you could play Wild with them, but not too many play Wild. And on top of that, it's still stuck into the, you know, ecosystem of the game that you can't you know, sell the stuff outside of it. You know, in CSGO with the weapon skins and stuff like that, if you buy a weapon skin, you can always cash out and sell it back for, you know, Steam money on the market, or there's, you know, really reliable traders that will give you, you know, PayPal money and stuff like that. You know, that's what I did with a lot of my stat track weapons I had with CSGO. Just wasn't playing CSGO anymore, so I sold a lot of them, bought a lot of really fun games. I got some of it PayPal money, you know, bought some, you know, other things outside of, you know, Steam and stuff like that. So they have physical monetary value, but a lot of digital card games, everything is stuck in the ecosystem. Now, if you play a game like Eternal or Gwent, you know, it is very, very generous. So although technically, yes, it is pay to win by definition, you know, by my definition anyways, it's so generous that it doesn't matter. So it feels like the pay to win mechanic is definitely just part of the digital card game, you know, to kind of open up packs and stuff and feel great about it. Whereas, you know, if you're making a pay to win, you know, free to play FPS game, that just feels scummy, and it feels even more scummy if you're putting it in a AAA title game. And, you know, yes, some people might be like, oh, well, you know, the card, you're getting cards to then, you know, build a little mini deck in Star Wars Battlefront 2, but we all know that's not the same, and that argument, I haven't heard it too often, but that argument is one of the worst arguments I have ever heard. But either way, that's kind of what I was wanting to talk about in today's The TTG Show. Just kind of, you know, people's comparisons between, you know, pay-to-win mechanics in, say, Star Wars Battlefront 2 versus in digital card games. But I'd love to hear your guys' opinions. Do you guys think it's not okay even for collectible card games to be pay-to-win? Do you guys think, you know, for some reason Star Wars Battlefront 2 is okay in the way it does? I doubt anyone's like that. You know, I'd love to hear your guys' comments in the not comments in the down below. Your comments down below. But if you guys enjoyed this video, then consider leaving a like down below and subscribing to see more content and news. And like always, guys, see you next time.